Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining wherever you're joining from. Always good to see people in the chat as we get things going. So welcome. If you're new here, thanks for joining, and make sure to start your message with the letter Q if you want. If you have a question, it'll show up in my questions column so I can see it through the rest of the chat. That's going to pick up as we get going probably. Welcome. It's been a week. It's been quite a week. Last week, I right before the stream started, sliced my finger on a razor blade, which was super fun. So I was just having to deal with that the whole stream. It is better. I no longer have to wear a Band-Aid, and it doesn't look terrible anymore. So thank goodness. Was in a very awkward spot though. It meant that I couldn't it was really hard to type with that finger. So anyway, don't recommend it. But it's good. We're back. Had a bit of an adventure this week, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, in plain sight. Wow. Already with the membership gifts. Thank you so much for that. In plain sight gifted 5 channel memberships to viewers today. So it's done randomly as far as I can tell by YouTube. So we have 5 new members who were in the chat. So congrats. And if you are one of our new members, Alan, David, Raul, 85, and Thomas, welcome. You now have access to the members chat on Discord. So go find the link below to the Discord and join that and connect to your YouTube account, and you'll see all of the discussion that's been happening, including all of the adventures from this week. So channel members know what I'm talking about. I was posting about that on Discord as we were doing that. I will come back to that in a minute. IT never gets old. I noticed the revised map chat now clears the demo shelf. Nicely done. So actually what I did is I just lifted the TV up. I put some little things underneath the TV and just moved the whole thing up like 3 inches. And now the bottom of the screen, because now you can actually see the Google logo in the screen, which was normally hidden behind that. So now that now that is better framed. Oh, I forgot to move the little webcam out of there. I'll talk about that in a minute as well. Actually, let me grab that because I do want that down here. I was just testing it with the RØDECaster video to see if it works, and it does. Yeah, so couple things. I do actually want to talk about the live stream that I did in the middle of the week, not on my channel. Because I thought it was an interesting example of using this stuff. I can talk about what went wrong and what went well. And also Frank sent this over. So I picked this up from the PO box the other day. This is a new YoloCam. It is a tiny little webcam. It's very cute. It is it's like significantly smaller than a GoPro. And it's just a webcam. So it's just USB out. But his claim is that it is the best quality webcam. So we will see about that. Oh, and Kevin also coming in with the membership gifts. Wow, thank you. Thanks for that. So we have 5 more channel members. Welcome. And thank you, Kevin. In plain sight, I saw you coded gift membership via the live chat overlay. Can everybody do that, or have you coded it just for yourself? Oh, what you're seeing here is not the browser extension that I have in the Chrome store. This is custom, and I did have to do something special to show the gifted memberships. Although I thought I also did that to the Chrome extension one because my top user of that is Airline Videos Live, and people give channel memberships on his channel all of the time. So I thought that was supported, but tell me if it's not. Da Vinci Girl says, welcome back. Your world map at the beginning. Where is there a template, or how is that made? That's also very custom. That is something I put together from a little bit of JavaScript in the Google Maps API, thanks to the fact of that when I do bring these chats in to my chat interface, it's all kind of there for me to work with. So Um, cool. Yeah. So, okay. So last week I want to talk about this live stream I did last week. So last week I it was Wednesday morning, and I got a text from Bike Portland, and from Jonathan, and he was like, "Hey, he's the one who I set up the studio for with the RØDECaster video, right? So he's got a YouTube channel and does a lot of videos now, and get that out of there. So he's done he has like I set up at his desk that he just has one camera and does recordings, but for any of the podcast format things in his studio, that's using the RØDECaster video, and that was I helped him set that up several months ago now, and it's got like 3 Sony cameras for the different angles, and microphones wired in, and he can do auto switching and all that stuff. It's been going great. So he texted me and he was like, "Hey, how hard would it be to live stream my interview with the mayor tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, assuming that everything is the way that I left it when I set it up, very easy, because you already have the cameras hooked up, and you already do podcast recordings, which are essentially live." And I was like, pretty much all you have to do is just hit the go live button and deal with the YouTube studio, and I'm happy to help with that if you want. And he was like, "Oh, I should have mentioned we're actually doing this outside at Bike Happy Hour." I was like, "Oh, that is a very different story." not not in the studio, not using the RØDECaster video. And I was like, "Well, that's very different, but we can do it. And I was like, this sounds like a fun challenge. How quickly can I throw together a kit on my bike to bring to Bike Happy Hour to live stream an interview about bikes with the mayor?" So I also had a completely full day of work during the day, so I had maybe 30 minutes between things that I was able to like get away from my laptop, and I had meetings that ran all the way up to like 4 o'clock, and the interview was on at 5:30. So I so I was like, this is a challenge. I have essentially no time to prep, but I do have plenty of gear. So yeah, I was like, what's the easiest thing to bring that will require the least amount of work to prep and to set up and deal with. Also, since it's outside, I won't have time to set up more than like 30 minutes. That means like I'm not gonna be able to run cabling. I don't want to have to tape it down or bring stuff to hide the cables. So I was like, okay, what makes sense in this situation? I also have been to that little plaza that Bike Happy Hour is at before, but I had never gone there in the context of an event or filming. So I didn't have a good sense in my head about like what are the good angles, where would I be. It was in this spot it's a very cool little strip that is blocked off to cars now, and it's fun to ride through because it's all rainbow painted. Anyway, this is the plaza that it was at. It was at like, this is like the bar. No, this is the bar that it's at, and then they have basically a little like covered area here. I guess it wasn't covered in this photo. So yeah. So I so I was like, okay, what should I bring? No cables, no time to prep, no time to set up. He was going to record audio, but also I didn't know what gear he had, and I didn't have time to test it, and I also didn't want to run cables. So I was like, I'm not going to even plan on being able to tap audio from your audio system. So I'm just going to bring my own lav mics. So what do you think I brought with me? What do you think I brought given those constraints? Drop it in the chat. I'm going to scroll through the chats really quick. Oh, Newton says, I already have a pair of DJI Mic 2. Does it make sense to upgrade to the 3? Probably not. I think, I don't think it's necessarily like a necessary upgrade. Also, the Mic 3 doesn't have lav inputs. So if you do use the input for running a lav mic on the 2, then just keep using that. You won't be able to do that with the 3. The transmitters are much closer to the Mini, the Mic Mini. They're like slightly larger, but the same kind of style, and they don't have a lav input. So, be nice to make a how-to video. This is very custom code, but if you do want, yeah, ID Never Gets Old mentioned it. H2R Graphics has a similar feature. It doesn't work exactly the same way, but it is similar. It does have a map. Lily's here. I never get to attend the live stream because I'm working, but yay, COVID, I'm home today. Yeah, Lily is upstairs sick, not at work today. So, okay, we got some guesses. Dylan says Mevo camera. What are you doing? Says GoStream and DJI mics. Okay, interesting. So, again, with the caveat that I did not have a lot of time to prepare or think about this very much, what I went for was the Magewell Director 1, and the AV Cans Go, and the DJI Mic Mini set. So I had 2 of these. I also brought my Pocket 3, which was just as a backup. I wasn't necessarily planning on using it, but I brought these because they're wireless. And the so that was my camera setup. So I had this one actually is wireless. This is this one. And it is, so the way that those are wireless, the way that's been the most stable for me is using the SRT feed out of them. So the, I also brought my own, the GL iNet router. So that was my main hotspot. So once I have my own Wi-Fi, I can get everything on that Wi-Fi. I can also hardwire, I think I did. No, I didn't. I didn't even hardwire the Director 1. So everything's on the Wi-Fi, and then the cameras can actually just they don't push SRT. They are SRT listeners, and then the Director Mini or Director 1 can actually go and pull that feed from it. So if you go look at the setup on here, it's pulling the, wow, you really can't see that. It is, oh, that is the multi-view. That is not the screen mirroring. Let's fix that. Let's go HDMI out is the duplicate screen. Now you can see it. So the, this, basically the Director 1 will go reach out to the camera and pull in the video feed. And, so that was a great way to just have 2 cameras that I could just stick somewhere. And where's my photo of it? The setup that I did, because I got there and I had like, 30 minutes tops to set up. My location scouting that I did was, there it is. So this is what my view was. Yeah, Director 1 sitting there. I did bring my laptop because I needed to use YouTube Studio. And then I had 2 cameras. One is, where is it? That's his Pocket 3 for filming. Mine is sitting back there somewhere. I did a good job of hiding it, I guess. Yeah, I can't see it. That's funny. It's somewhere, it's like kind of next. I think it's behind, it might be behind his head. And then the other one is over next to a pole over there. And then I did have a Pocket 3 next to me, wired in just as a backup, which came in handy for a reason that I didn't expect. So, yeah, so you can see the 3 cameras on connected into the Director 1, and I had a logo I could cut to, which would mute the audio also. I had the DJI mic mini receiver plugged in over USB, and then he was wearing a lav mic, and the other one was sitting on the chair there waiting for the guest. Matt says, I tried for a week to get those to look decent, so I sent it back, not in the same price, but I love my Tail 2. I mean, the Tail 2 is definitely a good camera. I feel like these look decent enough. I did do some tweaks to the images on them, to the settings of like brightness and contrast and saturation and sharpness to make them look a little better. And they looked good enough that a still shot from them got used in the local paper. So I think that's a good testament to it. So yeah, the cameras worked great, plopped them down, got the microphones, and then I started realizing a couple of the problems. One, I was planning for an interview with 2 people. So I had 2 mics, 2 wireless mics, and problem with the DJI Mic Mini, which I hadn't really thought about, is that there is basically no control on the receiver except for gain, which is just gain out of the receiver. So the receiver has a link button, a power button, and then this knob to adjust the gain, but it's just the output from this. It's not like adjusting the mics. And that meant that there is no way to mute a single mic from this. So as soon as I had both mics on, they're both on. And if I can't get to the mic because it's on someone, I can't control it. And it turns out that was a problem because the first thing that he did was have like an open mic where anybody can come up to the microphone and say stuff for a few minutes. And I was not prepared for that. So they didn't have a lav mic because they were holding the mic for the PA system. And it was also like they were swapping it out every 2 minutes. And during that, he was wandering around talking to other people wearing the lav mic. So if I used the audio from the lav mic, it was a disaster because it was just him whispering to people around the room. So I had to cut to the audio from the Pocket 3, and it was just like the ambient sound. And luckily, like they had a PA there, so it was amplified in the plaza. So the Pocket 3 did an okay job of picking up the audio. Definitely not ideal. But so that was good. I had that backup camera. So that was fun. What else happened? The other part of this that was actually really good was the fact that everything was very portable. Because the event did not go as planned, and I'm not going to get into exactly what happened, but you can find this written up on his blog, and you can watch the video if you want. The event did not go as planned, and what happened was right when the mayor showed up finally after the open mic section, there were a bunch of protesters who were trying to get the mayor's attention and shout at him. And one of them had a megaphone and was just the loudest person there. It was louder than the PA that Jonathan had brought. And they were just interrupting the entire event and would not let anything continue. So basically I streamed like the opening remarks from the open mic section. And then as soon as the mayor got on, things got weird. And I was like, do I keep streaming? I guess so. I guess this is happening now. And things were getting very heated. A lot of yelling. Jonathan was doing his best to keep things cool and moving. It got really intense, and there was absolutely a moment there where I was like considering my options for how I was going to get out fast. And do I leave the cameras? And how much of this do I care about? Or do I just run? So the fact that the cameras were on little tripods on their own, not wired in, was actually great because it meant that I could just leave if I needed to. Thankfully, it did not come to that. And the mayor left. And then things kind of just fizzled out because he was gone. And so then I packed up and left. But I did stream until there was basically nothing left to stream. So I can drop this link in the chat if you're curious to read more about what happened, because wow. That was, it was definitely an adventure. Matt says, being a sound guy, I never go anywhere without a soundboard. That is smart. Yes. So that, I think, was probably the biggest takeaway, is that, like, it would have been fine using the mic minis for a stream that was just two people talking where nothing unexpected happened. But yeah, I needed more control over the audio. So not doing that again. I'm going to have to, I don't want to bring a whole soundboard because, again, trying to cut down on how much stuff I'm lugging around for these things. So I need to figure out what's a better solution that gives me at least a mute button per channel. Yeah. Guerrilla streaming. I mean, that's what it felt like at the end of it. Yeah. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. DaVinci Girls says, I just bought 5 more Bauer anniversary microphones for a total price below 10,000. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. It'll be short in money till Christmas. Yeah, sounds like it. Wow. What are you doing? Says, does your automatic backup of Companion via the export button URL still work? Oh my gosh. You are reminding me that I never actually moved it over to the Mac. So I don't know. It's been probably backing up the Raspberry Pi that's been doing nothing for a while. I should test that. Let's see. What is the IP address of my Mac? So I can automate this properly. 7777. So if I go to Companion, go to the export button. So what used to happen is that this button would really just visit a URL, and let's see if that is still the case. Oh, it didn't even show up as a network request. Used to. Interesting. I might have to... Yeah, that's not it's not the same way that it used to work. So gonna have to go into the JavaScript to figure out what URL they're actually paying. So almost certainly does not still work. No. The Holyland Lark mics can be muted at the mic pack. I know, I accidentally mute them every once in a while. Yeah. I know several of them actually have that feature. Do the Rhodes? No, I don't remember. I feel like this one does. Because there's merged, split, merge, safety. No, I want. So I do want merged because I don't want to have to. Looks like maybe not, unless I forgot how to do it. Oh, there is a record button though. Pressing that top button will trigger the capsule to record. That's cool. Building Sheriff says I use a Ceramonic SR-AX100 to split my stereo signal from the DJI mic, mini mics. That gives me control over each of the transmitters as if they were separate devices. That is a good point. That's a good way to do it. I know you can do it with Wireless Go too. Okay. I should have that one somewhere too. That's the Wireless Pro. Maybe I don't. A field recorder like the Zoom or sound devices would give you some control, and they're small. It's true. I might have to start doing that. Although, really, I was trying to reduce the amount of gear and number of wires all the time. Mike says, can the pan and tilt speeds be adjusted on the Tail 2? It jumps too far, even the slightest adjustment. I still haven't actually played with the Tail 2. I've only played with the regular ones, but usually yes. Usually it is one of the commands that like a PTZ controller can send to the camera to adjust the speed. So like in Companion, I do even have, let me find where I put my, yeah. So I usually make a button in the controller that adjusts the speed. So this is obviously not the OBSBot camera, but it's just like a generic command that most PTZ cameras support. And this way I can press that to toggle through the different speeds. So yeah, sometimes on the highest speed they can be way too fast, and on the slowest speed way too slow. So you can usually adjust it. Matt is confirming that you can. Aiden says, do you think the Rode Wireless Micro is better than the DJI Mic Mini now that Rode is giving everyone a free camera receiver? Oh, I forgot about that. Rode Wireless Micro. I have never played that with that one either. That one is... Yeah, that one I haven't actually played with this one. And they give you a receiver, camera receiver too? Not just USB-C. I don't know. I haven't tried this one. I'm guessing, given the fact that there's basically no buttons on the receiver, I'm guessing it's the same problem of there's no control from the receiving end. Oh, and I just saw it. Get a camera receiver by registering, and that is this. And that does have a link button and a gain button. And the Rode button. Interesting. I don't know. I haven't tried that one yet. In Plain Sight says, do you know of any transmitter that could send receive audio that supports XLR input and 6.5mm headphone output? Something that we can comparable with the RØDECaster Pro 2. Compatible with the RØDECaster Pro 2? Where was that? XLR output and XLR output and 6.5mm input. Gosh, no. I don't. That doesn't ring any bells for me. Let me know if anybody in the chat has an idea. Gwen says you can mute DJI Mic 1 transmitter from the receiver, probably also Mic 2. That does sound correct. Which ones do I still have in here? I have, because I did return the DJI Mic 2 kit, but I thought I had the Mic 1. Maybe it's in my other. haven't even been using this one. I guess I should probably... I think it's time for another fire sale. I feel like I've got too many things in here that I haven't seen in a while. It's usually a sign that it's time to sell some stuff. So keep an eye out for that. I will give the members Discord first dibs. Come on. Come on. It's not in there right. What did I do? There we go. Looks like DJI Mic Mini supports DJI Mimi over Bluetooth, but I think it's just adjustment, not mute, unmute. Oh, interesting. I hadn't considered that. One day Aaron's going to join with every mic on. We'll play Guess the Laugh Kit. Oh, the Mimo app. Yeah. That would require running the audio into the phone though, which I didn't even use my phone during that. Andrew says, I'm an active RØDECaster user. I want to report a wicked bug post-update where the audio does not record on some of the video tracks and the video stops recording randomly while audio continues. That's bad. Is that on the RØDECaster video? You should definitely send that bug report to them. Because they will look into it and hopefully fix it. That should not happen. That sounds terrible. Joshua says, what's a good affordable PTZ camera with an optical zoom? So I've demoed this on a couple times, actually. I have one here, and I have one that they sent me and one that I then bought because I was like, this is actually really cool and I need another one. I'm going to drop the link into the chat. This is the AV cans. It supports NDI and a couple other methods. And where is mine? So this is the picture from that camera. So this is, I have it connected over to Companion so I can adjust, I can move it around from here. It has presets, so I can zoom in on that. I can go and Stream Deck moved. But it, so it supports PTZ, it can zoom, you can see it's got a pretty decent zoom actually. I'll zoom out for the full picture and I can go in pretty darn close on stuff. 20x is pretty good. It's almost, wow, that's way too close. Wow. The picture is obviously not as good quality as like my main camera, but it's pretty good for the price, in my opinion. I believe that the picture quality is the less important thing compared to the other factors, especially audio quality, but also how it fits in and how you're going to be connecting to it and using it. So if you want a PTZ with like a good lens and, you know, real sensor, you can spend $10,000. The Tail 2 is a pretty good option. Yeah, Matt is a fan of the Tail 2, which is a good camera, has an optical zoom. $1,200, so it's not as expensive as it could be, but it's still nothing like the 300 or whatever, the maybe 320 that the AV cans is. So that's kind of the the range, and that's why I'm a fan of it. And I ended up getting a second one to use for the shot of that, which is this one. So now I can go and show you the different switchers on the desk up there. I move that one around, zoom out. It's up on the pole above my light over there. Maku Media says, my YoloBox Ultra is connected to 3 Hollyland Pyro H receivers. 1 and 2 are correct, but 3 is a duplicate of 2. 3 connected to the third camera. Any solution? Is it? It sounds like the Hollylands got paired incorrectly. It sounds like it's like, because they support the ability to have multiple receivers pick up from one transmitter, so you can have like monitors of stuff around. It sounds like that's what happened. I've never used the Pyro like in person, so I don't remember the buttons to press on it. But that's what I would look at, is check if there's how you can like unpair it from the one transmitter and go pair it to another one. I'm guessing that's what's going on. Andrew says, can you add that PTZ via HDMI to your RØDECaster to show how the PTZ controls show up? Yes. Okay, yes. Good idea. I have the ability to do that. So let me go to the RØDECaster app. And hang on, I need to first route that camera to the RØDECaster. So we're going to go send the, where is it? Send that one, the overhead camera, and yeah, now we have the PTZ in the RØDECaster. So this is what I want. So in my RØDECaster, the PTZ camera is input 2. So if I go and tell it that, oh, I actually need to change it to an end, right? It can't do it over HDMI. It actually has to be over NDI. This camera does have NDI. So I'm going to go to input 6, which is not currently used. Go into the settings, go into the NDI device selection. And I'm going to choose, I hope it's that one. I don't know why there's only one of them showing up. There it is. And did we get the right one? Nope, that's my other camera. Well, it'll work. So now that it's connected to an NDI PTZ camera, it's able to actually go and use PTZ controls. So here I can now move the camera around with the RØDECaster video. And it can also recall presets, which are the same presets that are already loaded into the camera from Companion, because the presets are saved in the camera itself. Calendar on the back of my head. There's that. There's my mic on top. So yeah, it only works with network sources, NDI sources. So you have to set on the RØDECaster, you have to set the input to the network source, choose the camera, the NDI camera, and then you get camera controls and PTZ controls. But so it's nice that like there's no, the cool thing is that you didn't have to like type in the IP address or figure out what port it's running on. So, because it just works over NDI, which is kind of a cool feature. Gwen says, Ecamm added more advanced audio controls a while back. So if you set mic 1 to left and 2 to right, maybe you can use that to mute. Haven't played with audio, so not 100% sure. Yeah, so I was using the director one, first of all, not Ecamm. And if I did, yeah, I don't think there's any option for it. So sometimes, like in the ATEM, there's an option for this. In the ATEM, you can, for any audio channel, you can split the audio into separate left and right. And if you tell the ATEM that you want to split audio from one of these, basically it gives you 2 mono channels that you can mix independently. So whatever the left audio channel would have been is now in the center and individually controllable, and same from the right. So if you are using these little things and you put them in the split mode where they send one mic out the left, one mic out the right, then you can tell your video mixer that your audio is split and it'll kind of merge it back together, and then you can control them independently in the video mixer. However, the Director 1 does not have that feature, so I was not able to do that. Andre says, what do you think about PhotoJoseph's recent YoloBox extreme tests? I haven't actually watched that video yet. I definitely should. I'm curious how that went. I saw that he posted it, though. Aiden says, the mini mic receiver compare to the DJI Mimo app over Bluetooth, but I doubt it supports mute and unmute. Yeah. I didn't even try that. Interesting. Matt says, I was so happy you pressed Frank at YoloLive to support Companion. For my workflow, the YoloDeck works, but my setup is fairly simple. Oh yeah, I forgot that was last week too. On Monday, I was a guest on the YoloLive channel. He was he does a stream pretty regularly now. But that was we tried the auto switching, which didn't work great in that case. Still don't know exactly what the settings weren't quite right, but the stream worked fine. So he was using the Extreme in 4K mode, and I joined from the built-in remote guest feature in the YoloBox Extreme. So I just joined a web page and joined him from my browser, and it worked well. We had a good chat. I bugged him about adding companion support and tried to explain why. That the YoloDeck is not good enough because it can only control the YoloBox and it can't control anything else. And buttons only do one thing. I can't chain things together. Companion is really useful, and he wouldn't have to have as many feature requests if they just exposed everything through Companion. But that reminds me, the other thing I want to share today, which is this little camera. So this was on its way over to me last week, and I just picked it up at the PO box. This is the YoloCam S3, so it's brand new from YoloBox. It is a relatively simple webcam. It just has a USB port, and it comes in with this little base, which is does the foldy thing, so you can like put it on a monitor and tilt this and stuff. But it also has a tripod screw on the bottom, which is nice, and it's magnetic, so this pops in. So yeah, I want to get it plugged in, and so I can show you what it actually looks like. I was going to plug it into the Director 1, so I've got a USB cable here. And I did already test this works with the RØDECaster video, and thankfully it does. So that's nice, too. So let's get that connected. It detected an external audio device, which I don't want to use, but I will go and add webcam. There it is. Yeah. That is the picture. Let me actually pipe this in properly. So this is my main camera. This is the AV cans, which is now focusing on the little camera. Let's try to do that. It's the AV cans for comparison, and this is the S3 camera. I don't really get any controls from the Director 1. Yeah, but I think it does have a companion app for it if you plug it into a computer, which I'm realistically not going to do. But it works with this, and it looks fine. It looks good. I think it's actually pretty good quality for a webcam. This is the AV cans. The AV cans, you can tell, is a little bit, I want to say softer, probably because I turned off a lot of the sharpening. S3 cam looks good. I don't even know if I would be able tell you this is a webcam if I was looking at this picture. How is the focusing depth? Probably not that close. Oh, it does do autofocus. That's pretty close. I'm like 8 inches away. And back. Not bad. The little Yola webcam is cute. I would like it compared to the OBSBot Tiny 2 that has PTZ. OBSBot has a little camera too, actually. Now that you mention it. Where did that go? Let's compare those. I think it's in my OBSBot drawer. Found it. This little one. Meet 2. Very similar idea. Let's see if I can get this connected also. Swear I had another USB cable. So also on the back, the YoloCam is significantly larger, but you can see they're very similar ideas anyway. There's the audio from it. OBSBot Meet. Okay, now we can go S3. Oh, OBSBot Meet is definitely not as good. Trying to make it. I can't set it down. It's so small I can't put it anywhere. It's not fair looking at the moving picture. It's the cable I'm using is too short. So there's the Meet. There's the YoloCam. Definitely YoloCam is better. Meet is pretty good though too, honestly. But yeah, the S3 is a lot better. Is the S3 base detachable? Yeah, it's not part of it. It's magnetic. So it's actually that. It's just a magnet. So it's very, very similar. I don't think there's a magnet on the OBSBot. Oh, there is kind of. But there's also a tripod screw on the OBSBot, which is nice. On the YoloCam, it's on the base, not on the camera. That would have been actually kind of nice to have it there. Does S3 have any manual exposure controls on other devices? No manual always makes me nervous. Yes, it does if you plug it into a computer and install their software. So I haven't done that yet. But that's, I guess, one of the downside of any webcam is that it's not going to have manual controls on devices like the RØDECaster or the like the Director 1. Actually, I wonder if it has manual controls on the YoloBox when it's connected to the YoloBox itself. Running out of space on the desk. I don't want to bring that down. It's all plugged in. Maybe I can go up there. Let's try that. I need a little transition animation. Oh, and I need to get my other mic up. For when I'm up there. I'm going to should have done that before the show. I'm not very positive on the YOLO deck. It'd be better if YoloBox had Stream Deck or Companion. I agree. I just want it to have companion support. Let's go over to the lab. And let's see if my wireless mic is working. Yeah, great. So what is that? I want to switch over to the YoloBox. No, I need to route one more thing. I need to, this is not quite streamlined yet. Lab cam. There we go. Oops. There we go. Oh, because that was turned off. Let's fix that. I also don't have the chat over here yet, so that's a problem. TV, computer. I don't quite have this figured out yet. Oh, it's booting up. Let me just get this plugged in. Somewhere there's a USB port. There it is. Lab overhead. There we go. Okay. There's the USB. What I wanted to do was, are there controls? PTZ control, no. That's just YoloBox. What about in here? No, no, no. More tool, nope. Looks like no. I thought it would be here, and I'm trying to scroll on that too, and not seeing it. Well, now we know. Lovely, lovely still frame. I need a bigger desk. I keep thinking about what to do about this space. It's a challenge. Oh, thank you, Matt, for the super chat. Your lab's getting there. My contribution to the cable fund. There are a lot of cables in the lab. It's true. Yes, there's 2 HDMI cables that run to each of the switchers. There's HDMI splitters. There's a ATEM Mini Extreme up there that has the outputs of all the switchers. It's a lot. It's great that Aaron has about everything, just about everything to try. Very helpful. I try, yes. Sometimes I get them sent to me. Sometimes I just buy things because I'm curious. So your super chats and your channel memberships and your viewing of the videos all goes towards that. It's great. Thank you very much. Probably worth pointing out again, this YouTube channel is entirely a self-contained funding source for me. So all of the money from affiliate links and YouTube channel comes in, stays in the channel. I don't take any of it out personally, and I use it to buy things to try and share on the channel, or gear that I actually need, or subscriptions to whatever software and stuff I need for this. So thanks for your support, because literally you are keeping it going. I have not put any money in, and I have not taken any money out since I started this 5 years ago. So that's awesome. Too many prosumer switchers these days. It's true. It's true. But it's great because that means there's lots of different choices we have, and we get to use them in different scenarios where they make sense. So that's great. Frank said the camera control is coming, FYI. Oh, good. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That is something that I feel like is an advantage to the webcams when they're made by the same company as the switcher, because they're, yeah. Soon you'll be dressed like an F1 driver with all the sponsor logos. That would be hilarious. I know I don't actually even have any channel sponsors at all. So that is like the most that I've got right now is, Rode sent the RØDECaster video. Magewell sent the director one, although also technically alone. But Frank sends all the YoloLive gear over to share. But I don't have any actual sponsorships. Are there any subscriptions that you have that are necessary for the channel? Any that you have that are not necessary? You know what? I am now officially overdue on my accounting for this, because I last did it in March to prep for taxes that were due in April. And I said I would do a members only stream of doing my accounting for the channel. And I have failed to do that since March. So I'm very behind, and I'm very curious where I'm at, because I have not run out of money, but I don't really know how well it's doing. So that would be a good chance to review subscriptions that I have for this and other things. And I really need to do it before it gets to be a whole year later, and I'm having to do the whole year's accounting at once. Technobuzz, thank you for the super chat. More towards your fund. I appreciate it. Yeah, so if you're in the Discord, bug me more often to do my accounting for the YouTube channel as a live stream, because I know you're all curious, and I will do it. I'm happy to share all that, because again, like, this is a self-contained funding situation. And I also need to not have to do 12 months of data entry in March again. Which is what'll happen if I don't make a plan. Justin, what have I missed? A lot. But it's okay. Matt says your channel is by far the best deal. Discord membership is worth the $2.99. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm retired. I can bug you more than you want. Fair enough. What I really should do is just like pick a date that's going to work right now and just put it on the calendar. But I have to do it with my work calendar in front of me, because probably it needs to be, maybe it's actually a good thing to do when I come back from a trip, because I will have not had any time to plan anything else. I don't need to plan for the stream. I just need to sit down and do it. So that might be the way to do it, which means probably the best time is going to be on a Saturday after. It could be after my short trip to SF, or it could be after my Vegas trip. Like I only ever go to San Francisco and Vegas now. What do you think? Should I do it on the September 27th or September 20th? I feel like that's going to make the most sense, of like Saturday after a trip, didn't have any time to do anything during the week, which I barely do anyway. And just sit down and do it. Take your pick. 20th or 27th. That's what it's going to be. What is the Discord link? It should be visible. There's like a section in the YouTube UI that shows up if you're a channel member. And it's not like in the video description. It's like in a separate tab in YouTube. and it only shows up if you are a channel member, including 4 people who have joined just now, like Richard. Thank you. And then you should be able to find there's a little blurb, and then there's a link there. I want that year-long calendar, but I don't have the wall space yet. It's super, super cool. I'm a big fan of it. I like having the whole year laid out in front of me. I don't mind that it's not the traditional monthly views. I actually don't like the traditional monthly views. Every month is a row, and it's kind of cool. How come the tape conversion gear is still behind you? I thought you were done with that. Perhaps the lab desk can bleed further there. I'm not done with it. I was doing it over like the wintry times when everything was dark outside, and it was very good activity for that. And I was working on I would just like let stuff run and work on other stuff here. I kind of just stopped. I guess other things came up, but I have not actually finished. I'm very close. And I'm down to some of the hard ones that are like less organized tapes, so they're harder to. I have to do more active work to catalog them versus a lot of the early tapes were like very well labeled. So I could just hit go and after it was done, like I already knew what to name the file because there was a well-written label on the physical tape. Now I'm down to the ones that are like unlabeled tapes, or there's something on the label, but it doesn't match what's on the tape itself. And some of the tapes are not playable in some of the decks, so I have to try the other ones. Anyway, I'm down to the hard part. Is the end of that story. I do need to finish it. I don't think I want to sell the gear. It's kind of fun to have that. But I could sell it. It clearly like still has value and goes for the same amount that I bought it for, at least. Probably more now. Some of that I imported from Japan. So I don't know how that would go now. But maybe I do need to bleed some of the lab over into that space. 27th is better for me, producing a show in Dallas on the 20th. I thought you said you were retired. What are you doing working? Omer will also be on a trip on the 20th. The 27th is better. Yes. Okay, 27th it is then. We're going to do that. I'm going to put it on my calendar. Members only accounting live stream. Probably will actually do it at the same time, roughly the same time of day as this, just because this works well. Maybe I will start an hour early. And it'll be, oh my God, it's going to be so dark. It's going to be so dark on the 27th. Cool. Okay. Don't let me out of this. I'm going to do it. Okay, let me get, wow. Oh, all sorts of questions coming into the chat. Have I seen the new Holly on Live air? No, I'm not in person. So it looks like it's slightly different than the one they showed at NAB even. So it looks, yeah, it looks different. Similar, but I'm not entirely sure what is different compared to what I saw at NAB. Looks like, is it still running Android? I think it is, right? Because they're showing Instagram on it. So it is an Android device in the camera, and can run like full apps. Very interesting. It's very interesting. It looks like it's not detachable lens though, so will not ship until September 18th. Hey, that's pretty soon. It's only like 10 days. That I feel like is too expensive for me to just buy to try out. So I will see if they can send me one. Semi-retired. I have a hard time saying no to some people. Quick pick of the calendar, please. Yeah, I think my PTZ camera has a preset for it. Let's see. Oh, it's the back of my head. That. So it's every month is a row, and then that means that the days of the week don't line up, which is fine. Although I guess I could make it, if it was a little bit wider, I could get the days of the week to line up, and then the months wouldn't start on the same row. Maybe I'll try that for next year, see if I like it better. I don't really mind it. You probably can't tell. Let me zoom in. Maybe you can if I zoom in. You can. Wow. There's the MySpace ride. So you can see for the weekends, I have a slightly different coloring of that header, which it's easier to see in person. And that's a pretty good indication for me. And I use this to, I put a little stamp anytime I do a live stream. I put my flights and travel and stuff on there. It's nice to be able to see, like, at a glance, like, how much am I traveling this year? I also sell this on the store. So if you want one, you can get it. And I need to make one for 2026 now and put it on the store because it is officially planner season. The link is there, and you can see it's on the store there. And they'll send you a poster. It's all print on demand, so I don't have to stock it or anything. Are you still using Remarkable as part of your workflow these days? Not as much as I should. I feel bad, honestly. So I feel like what I did was I made a Remarkable version of the planner too. So it's the same style of calendar for the Remarkable, but then it's a full yearly calendar also. So the first, where is this? I think I actually link it for, I linked it. Yeah. I need to update this now for 20. Oh, I haven't updated the shop, but the Etsy listing should have 2025 also. Where's my Etsy store? And I need to update this for 2026. So the year page, the year overview looks the same as that. It's based on the same format. And then if you click into the month, it'll jump you to the month page, which is a monthly grid, and those are navigable. And then you click on the day and you go to your day pages. And I also have a week page. So it's basically a PDF. This is just a giant PDF that's all hyperlinked to itself, and it works pretty well on the Remarkable. I need to make a color version of it, and I need to make a 2026 version of it. And I did use this for a couple of years extremely rigorously. It was very, very helpful. I have not used it as much this year. I don't know why. I'm not entirely sure why. Also, the Remarkable has a new one coming out, the Note. Is that what it's called? I think it's called the Note. No, Move. And it is way smaller. It's like tall and skinny. And I'm very, very, very curious about it. And I want to adapt my planner for this. So we will see. We will see. 2025 is almost over. I know, I can't believe it's already September. This is the first live stream of September. Welcome to the fall, almost officially. It's been kind of fall weather here too. Matt says I need an iPad version of that. What? I don't even know what the good markup apps are on the iPad, because it's a PDF. So if there's a good app on the iPad that you can annotate PDFs, it would work. Because it is a PDF that you just load and then you click around within that PDF. It's not smart as in, like, if you write something on the day in the yearly view, it's not like it copies it over into the individual day. I would love that, but it's just a PDF. So yeah. Someone needs to make a version of that links to personal digital calendars, not necessarily online ones. I would love it if it was an actual calendar. This is like, I feel like it's so hard to do, though. It would be so hard to do well. What I actually want is I want it to be aware of the fact that it's a calendar and pull data from different calendar feeds, and like there are standard calendar formats that you can get, like an export of your Google Calendar URL. You can self-host a Nextcloud and do your own calendar that way. And I would love it if it could pull that into the software so that I could write on top of the auto synced data. But it's essentially a PDF reader, so it doesn't really do that. And at that point of you're talking about syncing with calendars, you're talking about it's actually an app, and that would mean it would need to be an app platform, like probably Android, and then it's an Android app, and I'm not going to write an Android app for that. So someone's going to have to do that, and then they're going to have to sell it, and it's probably going to be a subscription model, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. Yeah. Have I done a YoloBox? The YoloBox stream yet? Seems like a cool feature. Very, very long time ago, I did test that. Essentially, if you are signed into the same YoloBox account on two YoloBoxes, and you start streaming to their restream service, you can pull up that stream in another YoloBox. So it's not bidirectional. It's not like the remote guest feature, but it does let you just bring in another feed from another YoloBox, like a remote stream. So it's not two-way, so you really use it for like interviews. But if you do have a remote producer, you could use it for that. And it is a very cool feature. I agree. Do I know the price for the YoloCam S3? I do not know the price for that. Sorry. Omer says, I found my old device, which is the ATEM Television Studio 1U rack. Do you know what's the latest software of that? Very old. The 1U ATEM Television Studio. Is that the one that's the super thin one? That was my first also. Very, very old. Yeah. Andy says, I have a question about the RØDECaster video with basically you can answer. Well, you can ask the question and we'll find out. There are a lot of planners in the App Store. You know, I actually haven't looked around in a while. I wonder if anybody has built that now. Have I looked into the Cloner Alliance Evolve for recording projects like yours? Cloner Alliance Evolve. No, I have not. Let's see what that is. What do I think of this? Record to USB flash drives. Video capture box. 2 HDMI, 1 AV inputs. Output video encodes H.264. I'm guessing it probably has an output also. 2 in, an output, a PC. So it's like a capture card with a built-in recording feature. Oh, and analog input. That's cool. No, I haven't. The reason I didn't go that route is I already have a bunch of HyperDecks, so it made sense to use them. And I know that I trust the recording from the HyperDecks. And so it seemed like it made sense to just like, as long as I can get the video out of these things into an HDMI format, I can record them in the HyperDecks, which the thing I like about it and the workflow that I have set up is actually super, super cool for this. Because the HyperDecks can record to cloud storage, I have a folder that they all dump to, which is, I hit record on those. It records to a network drive, a cloud pod. And then as soon as they're done, that's already on the network and I can just like move it to the right location. I don't need to deal with SD cards, copying files. Like it's so much faster that it can just dump them directly onto network storage. So I really like that method of doing it. We need an ePlanner channel. Yeah, careful. Thoughts on the OMT, the open source NDI replacement from vMix? I haven't really dug into that yet. I'm not sure. I am excited that someone is challenging the NDI licensing gods, though, because man. Andre says, I also have a TV studio lying in my closet. The HDMI SDI hybrid version, sadly, no scalers, no converters. Yeah, it's an old device. The thing that I liked about it though is that it had 8 inputs, but 4 HDMI, 4 SDI, but it only had 6 channels. So you would take 2 of the channels and you could choose whether you want them to be HDMI or SDI. And I don't know why Blackmagic hasn't made a hybrid device like that since then. Like the mixing and matching SDI and HDMI makes so much sense. So really, really should, they really should bring that back. Frank said $249 for the S3. Wow, that's kind of an expensive webcam, but hey, at least we know it's good. Sorry if it's not the theme. If it's live streaming, it's the theme. Why does OBS have issues with MacBook M1 and M2 chips, or is there any setting that works best? Does it? I don't know. I'm using it on my M2 right now, and it's fine. I'm not using it for this. I'm not running this actual stream for it, but all the chats are showing up in OBS. And the chats and the map and the countdown music, and that's outputting to a Thunderbolt device. It seems to work fine for me. I don't know what is not compatible that you are seeing. CSD Global says, how is the house project? It's looking like a house. Oh, I just remembered I have all the cameras wired up so I could actually show you. I've spent quite a while running I don't have a picture of the network closet, but I spent quite a while dealing with terminating all the network jacks and stuff in the closet to be able to run cameras around the house. And I have a few of them up and running now, so I can show you around the house virtually, kind of. This is the dining room, and you can see my tool belt and stuff is there. The kitchen is this. You can see the very nice countertops. The half wall, the little railing, glass railing for this is coming next week. I'm very excited about that. Keep the cats from falling down. Lily's office looks amazing. Lily's office, the wallpaper person came in and did that wallpaper. And that was the desk that I hauled on my bike trailer. Very far distance, 10 plus miles. She's still deciding on the rug. This was a cheap Amazon rug. Still deciding on that, but it's looking good. So it looks like a house. The entryway is also... Oh, and I had fun with these little low voltage boxes. I tried to make them very tidy and keep everything neat and organized in there and labeled. So that was fun. It's really coming along. The problem is we still don't have power, but the inspector theoretically is coming tomorrow to sign off on the solar panel inspection, and then I can keep going with the power company. So yeah, so the solar panels are installed, but we don't have the final permit for them yet. So once we do that, which I should get tomorrow, fingers crossed, then I can call the power company back and be like, hey, it's time to connect the power. Please do that. And then I have no idea how long that's going to take. No clue. It could be like, okay, we'll be there Wednesday. Or it could be like, okay, we'll put you on the calendar 6 weeks from now. Yep. What are the doors on the wall in Lily's office? Those are cabinets. So just built-in storage, which I'm very jealous of. You like my white tool belt? Yeah. OBS issues are typically not OBS, but plugins misbehaving. That makes sense. I experienced some freezing while streaming, delay kind of laggy. Do you have any settings for an M2 Mac I could use in your videos? No, I don't really do videos about OBS. I also don't use it for streaming. I just use it for the graphics and stuff. But it does sound like it's just underpowered. So I'm curious, like, how many cameras do you have connected? Because that wouldn't make a difference, depending on how much you're actually trying to make it do. Yeah, it just sounds like the Mac doesn't have enough resources for everything you're trying to do with it. Oh, Andy, here's your question. I want to stream or record with my RØDECaster video, and I want to use YouTube or another platform and create a reaction video. Is it possible? Sure. Yeah. So actually, the RØDECaster video is perfect for this. The reason is because of all the audio routing features that you have. So a couple things that you need to do is, and I can go into the RØDECaster web interface to show you the settings. Some of this you can do from the device itself, but it's just faster for me to do it here. So first, you need to take your computer, probably, or a second computer, and connect an HDMI to the RØDECaster like the RØDECaster was a monitor. So if that makes sense. Just use like a regular, if you have an HDMI port on your Mac, or if you have a dongle, HDMI out from the Mac into the RØDECaster video, and your computer will see it as a monitor. And you'll probably want to mirror your display, which will be easiest, but you can also use it as a second display if you want to use it as like a second screen. Then you won't be able to see what's on that because it's in the RØDECaster, so you need a monitor on the RØDECaster to be able to see your computer. The RØDECaster has 2 HDMI outs. So what you can do with the HDMI outs is you're probably going to want one of your HDMI outs for a multi-view, so you can see the multi-view of the RØDECaster, which is, I have to go back over to that. The multi-view out will look like this, right? So you probably want this view in your on your desk somewhere, and then for the other one, right now mine's set to program, but what you can do is you can actually set it to one of your inputs. So let's say you have your computer plugged into input 2, you can set HDMI output to be a pass-through. That way you can see your computer screen full screen next to you. So that way you get your multi-view of the RØDECaster and your second monitor from your computer, and it's being captured by your computer. And then you want to deal with audio, which is going to be in the audio mixer. So your live mix is, you'll want to make sure that you bring in, like let's say it's HDMI 3, bring in your computer audio. Oh, sorry, no, don't do it that way. Do it as a USB device. So plug in your RØDECaster over USB, and then you get to choose your audio output. Mine's not connected, so it doesn't show up. But you would choose your computer audio out to be your RØDECaster. Then your computer audio shows up in the RØDECaster. And then when you plug in headphones, you can set your headphone mix to hear your computer, but not your microphone, if you want that, because I don't like hearing myself back. Or if you want to output in speakers, you can have a speaker output. So you just get all this audio routing capability here. So basically the short answer is get a video out from your computer into the RØDECaster, mix your audio there, and then you're able to capture everything, capture yourself, capture your audio. You can create layouts of side-by-side views. So you can create a side-by-side layout of your computer screen with yourself, and that will be your reaction video. Aiden says, my favorite way to send a feed from a laptop is to use extended displays, but then have OBS full screen project to that extended display. That way I can use OBS to select display and application capture. Oh, that's a smart way to do it too. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I like having just full screen where I know the aspect ratio, I know whatever's on this screen that I'm looking at is also being captured in the device, but that's a good way to get a lot more flexibility for it. House is looking great. Well done. Thanks. Yeah, this really should be a whole video. I have some video about the RØDECaster, several videos about the RØDECaster, but I don't know if I have exactly that. Let me see if I can find. Oops. I have drawing on top of them, auto switching video podcasts, conference. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that exact setup on a video. That would be a good video. There's kind of a lot to it, but the RØDECaster is a very capable device for that. Do you think YoloBox will ever support connecting to a NAS when a Mac user and the USB-C file transfer isn't supported? Ooh, I wonder. Interesting idea. Oh, I missed this one earlier. I want to switch between the 4 inputs on the ATEM Mini Pro via Companion, but I don't know how the best way to see the multi-view since it will be too far for USB. SRT, RTMP. There's not going to be a built-in method for this. Let me go over to the ATEM Mini. There's not going to be a built-in method for this because you have the ways to get the multi-view out are either, well, this is new. The new option is that the webcam USB out can be multi-view, but HDMI is the other one. So on the there's other devices have other ways to like get the multi-view out. The ATEM, it's just on the HDMI or USB. So essentially, you're going to need to grab that feed from HDMI or USB, whichever one's free, into some other device that can put it on your network. So you could, for example, plug it into a Zoe box over USB, and then that can go over NDI or SRT. But basically, you need to grab, you'll need to grab the multi-view out of USB or HDMI into an encoder of some sort that you like that can put the feed on your network. So if it's NDI, you can use NDI monitor on your computer to pull it up. Or if it's SRT, you can use VLC to pull it up. And there's trade-offs to both, but that's what I would do. CSD Global says, if I was to start from scratch with a church layout for streaming, would you go through the Rode route or DJI? Wait, DJI? What do they have for streaming? I do think the RØDECaster video would actually get you very, very far in this kind of setting because of the audio routing features. And now with the NDI camera support, also getting cameras that are really far away, it became a lot easier. So if you have a NDI PTZ camera that's somewhere mounted on the wall, there's a lot more options now for getting that into the RØDECaster. And then if you wanted to actually run some of you could actually run like the house audio from it. Maybe not the best idea, but there's a lot of options that you have with the RØDECaster. I would probably seriously consider that. Cool. We've been going for 90 minutes. I should probably wrap this up. I need to... did we get to everything I wanted to today? We talked about the YoloCam S3. It's a good little camera. I'll try it on my computer next, see how it does on that. But I just realized it also has a magnet on that side for it being a vertical camera, of course. That's cute. Cute little camera. Thanks, Frank. Oh, for the mics, not for the video switcher. For mics, for mics, you probably want something beefier than both. The only advantage I would say is if you want for the handheld mic, Rode has the Rode Interview Pro, which can pair directly to the RØDECaster video, which is super, super convenient. But I probably wouldn't even go lav mics for that scenario anyway, because lav mics don't do as well with like amplification in the room. So I would set up your audio system totally separately first, and then just like if you're trying to do like an installation and you need room amplification, do your audio with an audio board proper, and then send one mix back to your streaming setup. If you really do want to try to do it all in one, RØDECaster Interview Pro, which is this guy, which can pair directly into the RØDECaster Video or RØDECaster Pro, and then you can run your speaker output from that device also. Probably actually would use the RØDECaster mixer, not doing it in the RØDECaster Video, just because then you get actual physical controls for it. Someday I want to be able to use a RØDECaster Duo as a audio control surface for the RØDECaster Video audio mixer. If that makes sense. Or they can just release a separate device. It's like an accessory. But totally depends on how big your room is and stuff, because like I don't actually know the range on this. I suspect it's not going to work for a huge room, and then you might want to go into a real wireless mic system. Could you use a Stream Deck to do RØDECaster Video audio control? Somewhat, yes. So there are, if you look at the actions available, it's somewhat limited, but there are things like changing the volume, gain, mute toggles, relative, so you can make buttons to like go up and down, plus and minus the gain on the different audio sources. So there's quite a bit of control you do get in Companion, but it would take a while to build like a proper mixer out of it. Would I have an ambient mic, and what would you recommend? I mean, if I'm being lazy, I would just use like a little tiny wireless mic somewhere in the middle of the stage, like even just like a little one like this. But it's not gonna. It would be like my emergency backup. I'm not gonna expect to get good audio from that. I would rather focus on getting good mics on like as close to the person as possible. So whether that's giving them a handheld mic, or if they do want lav mics, or if they're at a podium, like a good podium mic, I would focus on that. It'd be cool to see a YoloLive create a breakout box for audio as an add-on. Kind of like the YOLO deck, yeah. I wonder if the Stream Deck Plus would work with its knobs. Sure, it should, yeah, it should. As soon as there's actions for it in Companion, you should be able to use any of the Companion surfaces to control those actions. That'd be a fun exercise to try to set up a Stream Deck Plus to be a good audio control for the RØDECaster Video. Okay, really gonna wrap this up. I think we got to everything I wanted to today. Go watch that live stream of the event if you want to see all the mistakes I made live switching and dealing with the audio. That was fun. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining today, and thanks to our channel members, thanks to our extreme supporters, Tom, Larry, Andre, Kevin, and Marcin, and thanks to all the other channel members as well. And I need to update this for all of the 10 new channel members. Thanks to our very generous folks today, In Plain Sight and Kevin, for gifting memberships to the channel. So if you are a member, click the link below in the member section. I think it's down there somewhere, to find a link to the members only Discord, where we will continue to chat throughout the week. And yeah, next week is in the middle of IBC, so I'm not going to IBC, so I'll be here. We will chat about what new stuff is going on there. Hopefully John has made a video at some point in the middle of the show that we can all watch as a recap. Probably not. He's going to be at a booth. But I will try to see what I can be following remotely from afar, and we'll chat about all the new IBC announcements. With that, see you all again next week, and have a good rest of the week.